Hi there, it's Ludbrook here, and the reason why you're watching this video, I hope, is because you want to know more about this report on utilities warehouse in the professional age, and that's what I want to do. I want to put some flesh on the bones of this report because, frankly, I make some predictions about this company which are massive. Okay, they really are massive, and you know, if you're reading it, I wouldn't be surprised if you're a little bit skeptical. You know, this company's going to grow by 300 or 400%, and all these people are going to be successful, and there's a new age, and I want you to believe it because we're at a very unique time in the industry, and if you can get it, and take advantage of the opportunity, I guarantee you, you'll be looking back on this video in 5 years' time and go, oh, thank God I took this guy so seriously, even though he's a New Zealander. Look, I want to explain a little bit about myself because, you know, there's a lot of people purporting to be experts on every subject around, and there's always some sort of background edge behind what they're doing. And look, the point is that I am not I'm not even a customer of the company. I live in New Zealand, but I'm not a distributor, I'm not executive, I'm not a shareholder in this company. I have no axe to grind whether the company succeeds or it fails, okay? The point is that what I am a specialist in is professional development, and I'm also a specialist in the strategic vision of the industry. And I know the UK really well because that's where I built my reputation. I lived in the UK for over 13 years, okay? And I joined this industry in June 1989 in London, okay? But what happened in the early 90s is that I took a role educating the DTI about this new industry, which is network marketing. And when in that role, I realized that there wasn't really a vision. Normally, when you're looking at strategic industries, there's a strategic report. Okay, so if you're in pharmaceuticals or chemicals or hotels or electronics, there's always a strategic report, and there wasn't one on our industry, so I wrote one to help me educate the British government, British media, trading standards officers, those sort of people. And I predicted this boom of this new industry. The book on that sold over 1.4 million copies in 20 languages, best-selling book on that subject in the world ever. And the point is that I keep studying this industry, and I've realized, I've analyzed, and I've said, hey, look, we are entering a new boom, which is called the professional age. And what we're going to do is we're going to utilize the full potential of our model by using professional development to drive the growth. And it's not an unusual thing. It sounds really obvious, professional development, lots of people, okay? The point is that franchising did exactly the same thing in the UK in the 80s. It was already a multi-billion pound industry. They put in professional development, success rates soared, and what happened is suddenly people who didn't have a lot of confidence looked at franchising and said, hey, this is an industry that I feel confident enough to join, okay? And it transformed the business. And you want to know the laugh? The British Franchising Association was created for two reasons. Number one was to distance itself from pyramid selling. Most people don't know that because in the 70s, pyramid selling was related to people having a massive failure rate. So franchising had a bit of a bad reputation, so it created the Franchising Association, distanced itself from the old bad boys, and what it also did was it had professional standards. And on the basis of that, they hit the tipping point in the UK, and the franchising industry grew by 500% in 6 years. Check the facts. That's what happened when you hit this new age because people are confident about doing the business. So how does that relate to utilities warehouse? Well, the fact is that utilities warehouse has a marketplace which is massive. You know, telecommunications, utilities, and some other services that they have is massive in the UK. And we're not just talking billions, we're talking tens of billions. BT has a turnover of over £20 billion, okay? Now, some of it's international, but it's a big marketplace, and the players who are successful in that marketplace do multi-billions, okay? And so when I look at this company and say, well, hey, you know, what is it about this company that's so successful? Well, unlike a lot of other companies, quite frankly, Telecom Plus, from the day it was created, understood that it had to have a customer proposition that was unbeatable, okay? Unbeatable. And that's what it has. And they've been very smart and open in the way that they turn around to people like Which, you know, which as a consumer association is torn apart, lots of famous brands. But every year they turn around and say, hey, you know, Utilities Warehouse has the best value products in those key service areas. Okay, and so it's happening so often it's nearly getting embarrassing. Okay, and so we look at that, and they understand that they have a customer proposition that that means that literally anyone can go and talk to anyone that they know and say, hey, look, I can save you money on things that you're already spending money on. And they've probably already talked to you about that. But when I look as an analyst, when I look at what this company's doing, I start there, and it's a no-brainer, okay? It's a no-brainer. The challenge that the company has is that that marketplace, you've got to be big to succeed. And so in the early days, I can tell you, they had to do some fights to survive. But now that the company has been so successful and it's so efficient and effective, and it's won its, you know, FTSE Company of the Year and all that sort of stuff. But the point is, looking forward, it has the strength that you need to play with the big boys. Okay, and you need to have that strength to be able to do that, to be able to grow fast, to be able to raise the capital and do the deals that you need to do as you go up to the next level in the business. Okay, and so the company has that. So the key thing is why am I saying it's going to be so successful? Well, the reason for that is that the company realized, and I've known a few of the guys for quite a long time, is the company realized that, you know, that we've got to do professional development, that the people who will join Utilities Warehouse and be productive and stay within the business, they are prepared to do professional development. And that's why the company actually, from the very first training program, has had this concept that we need to have this competence development within the business. Obviously, they've had to pioneer. So the focus has been this sort of pioneering, let's just find the people who will take the action. But now the company, certainly over the last few years, has really focused on getting those professional skills and creating this sort of academy to make sure that the acquisition of customers and the dealing with people on a very basic level is very effective, and that has shown results. And because I have an insider's knowledge of the impact on that, it gives me confidence to say that this is a company that now, not only have they really been pioneering the professional age since the start, but the point is now they're going to tap into that exponential growth. Because it's not really a focus on who wants to be a millionaire, okay? It's more a focus on who wants to make a great income with a strong business which is residual because we've got great products and customers that love us. And that I get. That I really get. And that's smart, and that's what the company is built on. And so me as an outsider, I can look at the company and just say, hey, that's why they're looking so good. And I know that, you know, if they turn over £5 billion in the UK in less than 10 years, well, they've just now in the big boys. But the impact of that on the incomes of the people joining the business is dramatic. It's dramatic. And that's what's exciting about it. And that's what I'm excited for them. Okay, and that's why I've made those sort of predictions that I think this company can go crazy, and because of that, the sales of the business will mean that they literally are, you know, the most successful direct sales company in Europe. Okay, for what they're doing in that marketplace. Okay, and that's exciting, and I really, really wish them all the best. If they go internationally, then hey, you know, who knows what they could do. But the UK is a massive market for them. I want them to be successful, and I want you to have the confidence, as if you're involved with a company, maybe it's time to get off your backside, get into professional development, really build the confidence. And if you're looking at the company, then to turn around and say, hey, maybe this is the business for me. You know, I understand I've got to really get into these professional skills, which is always great to, you know, builds your confidence and teaches you skills and teaches you about yourself. So the point is that I hope this is valuable. I hope you can use this report and it gives you confidence about the company. So thanks a lot, guys. Rock and roll. Bye-bye.